In prophecy, the Lord told me that He had been listening to my prayers, those prayers in which I was crying, and that it would be the Lord, through His power, who would be surprising the doctors, and that I should not worry because the Lord would be there. And a few days ago, my eldest son suffered a serious accident. He had to be hospitalized in intensive care in the city of Bucaramanga. He had fractured his skull and there was bleeding inside his skull. So he had to undergo surgery. And during those days of difficulty, the enemy was also there, placing traps. And the second day, my son underwent surgery and he was told that he was brain dead by the surgeons. And the next day, they said that my son would not recover from that surgery because it was so serious. But I trusted in the Lord's promise because the Lord is very powerful and very merciful. And my son began recovering, and the doctors were surprised at that fast recovery that my son made. The neurosurgeons were surprised. They looked at my son's health, and my son said, "I'm well, I'm okay." And they said, "How is it that you're able to move?" He said, "Look at me, I'm moving, I'm here." And they were all surprised to see how my son's recovery was so fast. And only 23 days later, my son is here in the church. I testify to give glory and honor to the Lord.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. I would like to testify today about the tithes. Last year, I lost my job. And I know how to bake cakes, so I started a business with it. And every cake I would sell, I'd give the Lord 10% of my sale. I never gave my tithes before because I didn't understand before, but the Lord told me I had to give Him what belonged to Him. For every cake and cookie I would sell, I would give the Lord 10%. And the Lord told me in prophecy, "I've seen how you have given me what belongs to me, and just as you have pleased me and you've been faithful in very little, I will be blessing you greatly." The Lord gave me a job a week later. I didn't even have to apply. They called me and I was able to begin to work in my field of studies. That is one of the great blessings. As well, I lost this job afterwards, but I continued to seek the Lord all the time. And the Lord told me to pray to Him how I wanted that new job to be. And I said, "Lord, I want a job in which I can go seek you at church. I want to have time for my family. I don't like public transportation. I would like to work from home." I gave Him every single detail of what I wanted, and no job would come up until they called me from one place where all these conditions and requirements are met. And I work from home. I work in the afternoon so I can come in the morning and seek the Lord, and I can spend time with my family. As well, the Lord told me in prophecy that He was going to give us a trip with my loved ones that was going to be of great blessing. We have been going through difficult times lately because we recently lost my grandmother, but the Lord gave us through an uncle, all of us in the family, the tickets and a trip that we'll be making today. And it was a blessing because we didn't have the money to do any of this. The Lord has blessed us greatly. I know that some of you have heard the Lord as well gave me back my eyesight because I had lost it when I was a teenager. And the Lord has been so great with me and my family. And I testify this to give Him honor and glory.